Grand Rising, my dear friends. I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you all have taken the time to give yourself a little bit of attention, clearing your space, clearing your energy, and just giving yourself some love, some well-deserved love and attention. All right, so first, before we start, I want to add something onto yesterday's video. I posted a video, did a reading, pulled an oracle card at the end of the video. It's about a 5-minute video. Something that I did not mention. We got the card, Life is a Canvas. Part of this is taking creative accountability, which means taking accountability for the manifestations and the things that are happening in your life. This goes back to prior videos when we discussed, you know, if I'm in a negative energy, then that is what I'm going to attract to me. If I am, oh, it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out, that's me creating the situation. That is me creating in my own mind, telling myself that it's not going to work out. Therefore, I have to be accountable for not being aware of what opportunities are surrounding me. Because if I'm in this energy, if it's not going to work out, then I'm not looking for solutions. If you don't know there's gold, why are you looking for it? Right? You look for something when you are have even the slightest hope that it is there or it's going to happen. If I feel like, yes, this somehow, some way, I know it does not look like it right now, but it's going to work out, I'm going to be on high alert for any opportunity, any door opening that brings me to that opportunity to help to create that situation for it to work out. So again, this isn't just, oh, you think a thought and all of a sudden everything works out or does not work out. But it is the energy you put it yourself in. That's where it begins. It begins with the thought. Any manifestation, whether it is negative or positive, begins in the mind. So, you know, I hope it begins in the heart for a lot of you. However, when we're talking, you know, day to day, it comes from your mind. It comes from your subconscious. This is why it's so important that we pay attention to our subconscious, because 90% of our thoughts during the day are ran just on autopilot. And this is where we're trying to be more aware of ourselves, right? So I just wanted to add that in there. So that is from yesterday's video. Okay. I want to talk about, I've got notes. Yeah, I know Angie's got notes, but I want to talk about these big, huge shifts that we've got going on because we've got some major energies. Again, I'm going to talk about Pluto moving into Aquarius, right? We've seen Pluto move into Aquarius or dip into Aquarius for just a brief moment, and this was the beginning of 2020. I believe springtime of 2020, and this is when we had a crisis. We had some kind of change, something that a downfall of something that led to us being restricted in areas. This would be more Saturn, of course, with Pisces being more restricted. But this is more, Pluto is transformation. Pluto is going to come through. I often call it death and destruction. But with death and destruction comes rebirth and rebuilding. And this is Pluto. Pluto is rebirth and rebuilding. But first, we've got to clear the way. And Pluto is going to help you clear the way. Pluto is that phoenix rising. Pluto is the phoenix, very well represented by the phoenix, because it's, you know, I'm broken. Oh my gosh, look at all these areas of my life where I'm broken, and this area of my life is not working out, and it seems broken, and this is not working out, and this area of my life is broken. It brings your attention to all the areas of life that are not working out, right? And it can feel overwhelming. However, it also creates that room and that opportunity to fill that space, that clearing out. It's going to bring something in to fill that space. So as we go through this changeover, this is a big, huge letting go moment, okay? Between Saturn going into Pisces and making us feel a little very restricted in some areas. It can make us feel like our dreams are restricted, or it could throw us into the complete opposite of where we are doing the escapism, right? Because of the Pisces energy, which is very dreamy. It's fantasy lands. And I'm not saying Pisces are all up in fantasy land. My Mercury is at 29 degree Pisces, okay? So if anybody's in fantasy land here, it's generally me. Mercury, you know, is all about the mind, mental, communication. So, you know, for me to be in this line of work, actually, you know, my brain talks like this all the time. So, Pluto on the 23rd, March 23rd, is going to be coming, it will be entering in Aquarius. My view of Aquarius is, you know, we usually have these, Aquarius is very AI to me. Alien. AI. I'm Aquarius rising, so no hate, Aquarius. I love my Aquarius. I have both my sons are Aquarius. My brother's an Aquarian. So, I mean, I've got a lot of Aquarius energy around me in my family. But it's very alien. It can be logical. It can be over logical. To the point where we can lose that Piscean energy. So, you know, we've got this great balance of Saturn and Pisces. And, you know, with Pisces trying to help Daddy Saturn, you know, break through some of those restrictions, like chill daddy, okay, kind of energy. And then we've got Pluto, death and destruction, rebirth and rebuilding and transformation in Aquarius, which is very alien, very AI. And we can see around us where that's happening. We have the realism is being taken over. It's being lost. And it's being taken over by that AI, by the whole, you know, we've got the art, we've got GP chat, we've got all these new apps, all these different things that can recreate people, their voices, their faces, you know, the whole deep fake thing. So we've got, you can already see this alien AI Aquarian energy coming, but it can be so over logical at times. This is can either, I mean, depending on how you see it, can be this shadow side, or it could be, you know, a blessing in disguise. But with AI, this, for us humans, I believe is a positive. Because of Pluto going into Aquarius and being in Aquarius for the next 28 years or so, AI coming up right at this point in time, the difficulties that AI will have is finding that authentic. It will be too logical. So when you're over logical, you don't necessarily have any room for emotions. This is where AI is going to lack. In my personal, humble opinion, AI will strongly lack that emotional aspect, right? Ooh, something I absolutely wanted to bring up with all of this energy. We've got Saturn with their restrictions, right? And we've got Aquarius with this whole AI situation. So, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. The last few years, there's something that we were strongly lacking. We were restricted physically. Major ways. This was almost like training. This was almost like, you know, getting us used to this being separated and getting used to connecting via technology. Right? This is something that my guides brought up huge, big time. It is so, so, so important that we continue to keep that physical touch, whether it is just being in each other's energetic fields. 6 feet breaks that energy field, right? So we need to be closer than that. We need to be able to bring that and keep that and hold on to that. That is one thing that my guides stressed over, is holding on to that physical touch, because it is so important. It is a huge, huge part of us humans. Here's the other flip side of that, though, is that many people that are introverts got used to this non-physical relationships, right? Partnerships, relationships, work relationships, you know, any kind of family talking over technology, not, you know, keeping to their distance, talking over the phones, whatever. So this was a big build up to all this that I feel like we kind of were prepped for, you know, like kind of trained for, to get used to the idea of it and getting used to the whole feel of it. And it's really, one thing is with a lot of us going deep, deep, deep into our emotional bodies, is that when we get deep into that emotional side of ourselves, I mean, we're getting deep into our own, like, traumas, our own issues, you know, our personal selves, it's hard to want that physical touch. A shield goes up because you're dealing with trauma. So it's a survival thing. A shield goes up, and all of a sudden we don't want that physical touch. So this is also going to be a challenge for many, is to get used to bringing that physical touch back into their life, right? Into their journey. It's very, very important. Also, this includes with the earth. And I'm not trying to sound super tree hugger, but I'm sounding super, but I mean it. I'm super tree hugger, okay? Like, get your feet dirty. Get your fingernails dirty. Get barefoot and go step outside sometime this month. I know it's not the warmest in all areas, so, you know, use your discretion, you know. And if you're not a barefoot person, at least get out there and just feel that air, right? Very, very important. We also have Chiron and Jupiter. Now, Jupiter has played a huge role in my last year of 2022. Jupiter played a huge, huge role and started 2023 out a huge role in my personal life. I am Aries Sun and Aries Moon, and my moon is right around 14 degrees. So, Jupiter and Chiron have, well, Jupiter's been doing this little dance through it. Chiron's been doing this little dance. So, I've been getting hit with that, but in a really in a really good way. I love change, and even though it seems very scary this time around, Jupiter has been outside my window, was right outside my driveway every single night for like a good 8 months. I would just go out there and just soak it up, and it, because of the retrograde, it would go back and forth, and it played a really big part of my last year. So it brought opportunity, and it reminded me to evolve and grow, and that things might not always be comfortable. It also is reminding me at this point in time with Chiron that sacrifice is needed sometimes to grow, and we may not always understand why we've been asked to sacrifice something in our personal self, whether that's a habit, whether that's, you know, changing your routine, or it's just, you know, like I said, a habit, or an idea. That's a big thing, is the idea, like the feeling of the past has been this way. It's always gone this way for me. I've always been this person in the room, in amongst the crowd. This has always been my role amongst the crowd, amongst my friends, in my family. Jupiter's coming along and asking us to expand that, evolve that, you know, address those issues. And why do you hold on to that image so tightly, right? When I say sacrifice, I mean something within yourself, right? I don't mean anything else. I mean within yourself. Jupiter's asking you to expand, asking you to evolve. And this is moving on. We're separating from that. But as we separate from that, we have Pluto moving into Aquarius. So, like I said, this month is bam, bam, bam. But it's a lot of change. And it's kind of like pushing us through it really fast. Just like, you know, one of those things where you just want to close your eyes and just jump. But, however, we're being asked to keep our eyes open this time. Don't close your eyes when you jump. You know, it's a leap of faith, and it's letting go of ideas and certain energies that have been in your life, within yourself, within your own character, within your own ego, within your own personality. You know, we're in the Jupiter and Chiron are in Aries right now. Aries is I am. Aries is, you know, can play a part of the ego, more so I am, and this is why I am the way I am, and this is why I think the way I think, and I am, you know, very Aries. So, but even for an Aries, the amount of change coming, you can feel it. You can feel it building. You can feel it rising up. It feels a little scary, a little nerve-wracking, because it's going to be a change like we've never seen. And it's crazy to sit here and say that, because you can feel it coming, but, you know, we felt stuff coming before, and it's never changed like super dramatically, right? It's always pretty well kept the same. Even if things have changed, still pretty well kept the same. But I'll tell you what, every time I think the astrology that there's no way that that's going to happen. Like, this is what my chart's saying, but there's no way. It proves me wrong. It happens, and I end up in that area, that energy. Thankfully, you know, when you're looking at your chart, you're able to navigate the waters a little bit more. So it's nice to know what's coming. But that's the thing, is there's so much change coming, and we're being asked to not fear it. You know, Chiron is the story of getting shot by Zeus's arrows, or is it? I think he got shot by Zeus's arrow because he was Prometheus. He was protecting Prometheus, I believe. I've got my book right over here, my mythology book over there. It's pretty neat. I actually want to read some stories out of it sometime. But it's, you know, Chiron gave up his mortality, and he shined to help everyone navigate their life. He looked over those he cared for, you know, by becoming this beautiful celestial body. And it was his gift to many, but it was a huge sacrifice. And at first, when that arrow first hit, it looked like the biggest nightmare. It looked like one of those things that you just, you dread happening, one of those situations. But in the end, it worked out in ways that no one thought possible. And here, Chiron shines bright, the wounded warrior, reminding us to get back up, that it's okay to view our traumas and to face our fears, and it's okay to get knocked down by trauma. You know, generally it refers to the parents. It has a lot to do with parents generally, when we have any interactions with Chiron. But it is a huge reminder that when you get knocked down, get back up and rise like that phoenix. We've got a really big phoenix energy coming through, and I that's the way I see it. I see the end of this month is going to bring the phoenix out in all of us, you know, especially over the next couple months. But I feel like we're going to get that big whammy on the 23rd or roundabout. So just, you know, prepare for that. One of the things I wanted to talk about with this whole changing energies and this whole, like, Pisces moving into Saturn is kind of teaching both ends of it. Lighten up on the restrictions. Don't be so out in fantasy land that you completely forget about your reality, skip out on reality, right? Like, because we've still got the physical world where we've got responsibilities, and so you can't just tune out and not come back in, right? Because once you do, your whole life will be falling apart. So it's a balance. And Saturn and Saturn and Pisces are teaching one another that, right? Those energies are balancing. It's teaching us how to balance that within ourselves and rebalance, because this is new energies. We haven't been here before. So all our old tricks might not necessarily work. It reminds me a lot of, if you've seen, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, there's the guy that would always be like, uh-oh, and put his thumb in his mouth and had the diaper on, but he grew up and he was like a 40-year-old man, still doing it, thought it was cute. No, not cute. If you haven't seen that movie, then let's see, the other example I can give is, like the prom king and queen, 30 years later, still shining up their crowns like, well, I was the prom queen and king, and I was the high school quarterback, and living off that legend for the rest of their lives. And we're being asked to let go of that energy. Let go of that, because we're coming out of our cocoon. And that's what we'll be doing over the next 2 months, is coming out of our cocoon. We're shining bright, right? So take a deep breath. It'll be okay. I know a lot of people may feel alone right now. We've got, Pisces is very alone energy. It's because you're in fantasy land, you don't go to fantasy land with other people generally, Generally, it's fantasy land by yourself, seclusion, hermit mode, and Saturn restricting that, interaction. So don't forget to find that way to break through that, to find those interactions. So important. So I lost what I was saying there. All this buildup also this buildup is building up the courage to let go of things, building up and showing us what needs to be let go of. So don't ignore that in any way. Pay close attention to what you're being asked to kind of let go of within yourself, right? Whether that may be beliefs, certain viewpoints, beliefs, So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull a card. Where are we at? 22 minutes and 33 seconds when I said that. Okay. Angels, ancestors, please be with me now. Higher self, spirit guides, please be with me now. All right. Let's see. What can we do? I would like to know, what can the viewers do? What's the best energy they can do to set them up for the 23rd and for the coming week? For the coming week. Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Can't make this up. Sorry about the whole focus. So this is, I love dude. Isn't he great? I love him so much. Oh my gosh, can you hear him laugh? I can hear him laugh. I can just hear this goofy laugh when I see this picture every time. I love it. So moving beyond ancestral patterns, that's exactly it, is that we have been taught this way and we have done things this way for as long as we can remember. All our ancestors have done it like this, and, and this is, we're carrying it on and carrying it on, and no, we don't do things that way. We do now. Just because we've been doing it like that for 200 years doesn't mean we can't change it up and evolve. That's where we're at. We're at that point of evolution. We got to evolve, baby. We got to move past, these ideas and concepts and beliefs of things being a certain way and holding on to that so tightly that things aren't able to change, right? Any other advice? Any other advice for the viewers? Did not mean to just throw that, and it kind of looked that way, didn't it? We're going to go with it, though. Stag, trust and thrive. Druid, hold the space. So Stag, trust and thrive. There we go. Sorry about it being backwards. All right, so this trust and thrive is all about, be aware of those opportunities that are being shown to you. and thrive in those areas, right? It may not be what you're used to. It may not be the area that you're used to, like, being successful in. And, you know, hey, you know, like, I'll take this one because, you know, I got this. Move past that. You may be asked to do something else. Another door that usually doesn't open for you, an opportunity that doesn't normally come your way, might just come your way. Trust that it's meant to come your way for a reason. Roll with it. Go with it. You know? And then we've got Druid. Hold the space. There we go. Druid dude. There we go. I love him. Okay, so Druid. Oh, come on. All right. Druid. Hold the space. We have... You can feel this energy of, you know, arguments getting very tense between, you know, different lands. I'd rather not say the word. And there's a lot of people that are scared. There's a lot of people that feel alone. There's a lot of people that are, you know, just feel something coming, can't place it because they haven't been exposed to any of the spiritual side of it, right? And as far as they're concerned, you know, they may be starving in a month, you know, or without a home or a job or, you know, just everything's changing so rapidly. And so there's no grasp on it. And some people could feel so out of control that this energy then spreads. And it's like walking into a room of people that are just all high strung. And that's the world right now. So if everybody's feeling alone and everybody's on edge. So instead of reassuring one another, people are snapping and being triggered. This is where we come in and we hold that space. We reassure, or if somebody jumps straight to a negative conclusion, you say, well, maybe, perhaps, have you thought about it like this? This is where we hold the space and we try to defuse things anywhere we can, any way we can, especially in our own life. You know, you're getting built up. Go scream in a pillow. No, for real. If you've got to. I'm an Aries, so I mean, I'm on fire. You just... But, a shower actually helps me the best. You know, that water. Water is very, very, very healing. So, and I also got new necklaces for my birthday. I'm totally distracted. I've got amethyst and tektite. And these are actually from a YouTuber who is located in Spain. Mark Biaski. Oh, I will put the link to his page down below, and he's got all the information for his shop and all that other stuff. But he works with each individual stone, and I mean, he really, really, you know, handpicks them all and wraps them up himself. Works with them real deep, and they arrived today, and I'm so excited. It's for my birthday, and it's something that, you know, definitely feel like I could use right now. So find your comfort as well. It's okay to get in that comfort zone, right? It's okay as long as you don't linger there. Oh, another thing about Aries, Jupiter. Jupiter is expansion. Little story about it. I mean, these energies are so real, right? And Jupiter coming through your sign can expand you. I'm talking about gaining weight. Let's not lie, okay? Like, I've had medical issues with my stomach, my intestines, all sorts of things, to where, like, my body will just bloat up, like, swell up, 15 pounds, 18 pounds on record, overnight, to where I'll have to go in and get my heart checked because of how fast my body swells up. And it hasn't happened in quite some time, especially since my surgery. But with Jupiter sitting right at my moon and Chiron over just in 2 weeks, 2 weeks time, just whoosh, whoosh. So, which is all right because, you know, I've had some issues and I lost quite a bit, and I've always been very athletic built. So, whatever, you know, it's almost summertime. It'll come right off. So, and Jupiter's almost leaving my sign. So, hey, Taurus, any Taurus out there listening, I'm just letting you know, being real about it. Jupiter gets mid-sign and it starts really possibly expanding the body. So, it's real. It's real. It's real energy, you know. All right. So, there we go. Longer video this time, but I'll split it up into 2 if possible. I'll mark the reading. All right. So much love for all of you, and enjoy. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I'm sure I'll see you soon. Peace.